Os. Welcome UNLV students to the Shotokan Karate Studies program. By now you should know you've already warmed up, you've gotten the warm-up that you feel your body needs, you're adequate for starting the program this morning. So let's go ahead and get started with our typical, quick, general warm-up. Ready? And Hajime. Ichi. Ni. San. Yon. Go. All right, warmed up good there. Let's turn to the side, bring our heels to our glutes. Good, all right. Let's go ahead and do some high knees as well. Get my workout recorded, here we go. High knees. You can do this slow, just like I'm doing. Again, just bringing your knees up. You can do it fast if you feel like kind of bouncing a little bit, working your calves a little bit. Or if you want to go slow, go slow. And yame. All right, let's come up on our toes, stretching out our calves. And yame. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and do some body hip twists. And yame. Good. Arm up, across the side, stretching out our shoulder. Good, other side. Again, don't hold these too long. Just doing dynamic stretches here. Nothing too static, nothing being held for too long. Switching over. Other side. Good. Feet just widen shoulder width. Go down, touch the floor. Go to the right. Back to center. Go to the left. Back to center. All right, make that a little wider. We're gonna go down to the right, turning up on our left heel, stretching out our hamstring. Good, now we're gonna turn to the left in a long front stance. Pushing on the quad here, pushing the knee over the toe. And down to a runner stand, or a runner stretch. Good. Back up. All right, we're gonna do everything to the other side now. Leaning to the left onto the right heel. Toes pointed up. Stretching out your hamstring. All right, let's rotate that all the way around. Good front stance, long, deep, pushing on the quad, pushing the knee out over the toe, getting a good stretch. Transition that into a runner stretch. And come back to center, come back standing. Good. Turn around, fix your gi. Back to me. Yoi. Subirachi. Free. Yoi. Seiza. Dojo-kun. 一つ、人格完成に人を守ること。一つ、誠の道を守ること。一つと力の精神を養うこと。一つ、礼儀を重んずること。一つ、景気の湯を戒めること。Ready? That's it. よい。しばらくち。Ready? よい。Alright, so today's class is an intermediate class. This is intermediate class number 7, and what we're going to be doing today is kata work. So, as I tell a lot of my students in person, all of your there's the K's of karate are Kihon, Kata, and Kumite. So the Kihon is actually all of the techniques. So you're learning each technique and you're trying to perfect each technique. You take those techniques and you string them together in kata. Once you're able to perform kata to a very high degree or high level, then you're able to pull specific portions of kata and effectively put that into a fighting situation, which we call kumite. So the more you practice your kata, the better and better that you'll get at recognizing specific points in kata that can actually translate into a fighting or self-defense situation. So when someone's attacking and you're kind of reacting, you kind of understand, oh, this kind of feels like this kata, and I know what to do next automatically. Because something just is ignited in your brain, you just think, as you go through this, if someone were to punch and you step back and you block and you think, oh, this feels like Heian Nidan, strike, strike, okay? And it's just something that should eventually feel very natural to you as you go through and you're performing various Kihon techniques, but as you're able to also pull these things out of your kata. All right, so that's why we're going to practice kata today. We're going to go through, since this is an intermediate class, let's go through kata up through Heian Godan. All right, so we won't get into Teki Shodan. I believe Teki Shodan, I kind of start teaching that in the more advanced class. So today we're just going to stick to intermediate. We're going to go Heian Shodan through Heian Godan. So these are going to be all traditional kata. We won't necessarily focus on any of the Kihon kata, so none of your Takioku, Shodan, Nidan, or Sandan. We're just going to really focus on the traditional kata today. We're going to do each kata twice, depending on how much time we have. We may come back and revisit, maybe do them 3 times. So just be prepared today. It's going to be a good workout, and it's going to be nothing but kata. All right, so let's get started back here in the back. Go ahead and find your place wherever you want to perform your kata. I'll try to move around a couple of times today for you just to kind of switch it up so that I'm not always starting and stopping in the same spot. Maybe I'll switch and try to move or start over here a couple of times. I don't necessarily ever want to start with my back to you because I don't feel like that's at all helpful. The first time we go through kata, and actually I'm not going to count it out. So I thought maybe the first time I would count these out so that we could kind of go through it together. But to be honest, this is an intermediate class, so you should know these kata well enough to just perform them with me. Same speed and pace. We'll concentrate on various things as we do these kata. So maybe we'll do it slow and methodical. Then maybe the next time we'll go with something that is a little bit more moderate, and then we'll focus on speed and power if we have time for that third round of kata. So 1 through 5, all right, slow and moderate, thinking about your techniques. Second time we'll go through all 5 kata with a moderate pace, such like a competition pace. The third time, again, if we have time, we're going to concentrate on each kata being done at with speed and power. All right. So I'm going to start back here in the back. All right. So all of these are going to be at a slower pace. All right, again, I'm not going to count these out. This should just be something that comes natural to you as you just slowly move through each kata and you're thinking about each technique as you go through it. Remember to breathe and remember your ki points. All right, I'm going to try my best not to get going too fast, okay? So again, just try to look at the pace that I'm going and try to stick with me. Ready? Let's go through the protocol together. Yoidachi, Subidachi, ready? Yoi. Heian Shodan. And Hajime. And I'll always allow for a few seconds after I finish just to make sure that you're able to wrap up your kata and I'm not moving too fast of a pace to get through each one. But I'll still call stop, so Yame. And we'll go back in to start with Heian Nidan. All right, so that's the pace of the class. So just get used to this for these first 5 kata, okay? Ready? Yoi, Subrachi, right? Yoi. And I'm gonna step forward just so I don't kick my wall behind me. Ready? Heian Nidan. Slower speed, slower pace. Think about each technique. And Hajime. Few seconds for you to finish your kata. And Yame, Os. All right, so there's Heian Nidan. All right, so again, just going through each thing slowly, methodically, thinking about each technique as you go through it, giving you time to think about each technique before that technique is actually performed. All right, let's go through Heian Sandan together. Ready? Yoi. Subrachi, right? Yoi. Heian Sandan. Slower speed and pace, ready? Hajime. Hey. And Yame, very good. All right, so a couple things I just want to point out with that particular kata is correction steps. All right, so I made a couple of correction steps there at the end of the kata because I was running out of room, right? So if you're running out of room with your wall, try to do a step in place, and that's what I did here. I'll kind of show you what I did. So I was here, and I knew I was going to run out of room, so my step was, instead of going all the way here, my step went to this foot, and then I stepped back. All right, so that way I pretty much stayed right here without getting too close to the wall in front of me. And then I went ahead and finished the kata, again, knowing that I'm not going to be moving, again, towards the wall, but more horizontally against the wall. All right, so again, just something to think about as you're kind of going through kata in maybe limited spaces, potentially like what I'm doing here. All right, so let's look at Heian Yondan. All right, Heian Yondan. Yoi, subirach, right. Yoi. Heian Yondan. Slower speed and pace. Ready? Hajime. Ay! Yay! All right, and Yame. All right, again, a couple of quick correction steps at the end. So I didn't have enough room to perform all three of my Maroto ukes, moving towards the wall, and still be able to perform the Hizagiri. Okay, so if you notice, potentially, I made a little bit of a correction step back there. So if you're not doing this with me and you're watching instead, maybe you notice that there at the end. So something to be aware of again in your own space. All right, so let's move into our last kata, Heian Godan. All right, so this is kata number 5, Heian Godan. All right, so this one is again probably at the top end or the high end of the kata that we may know at this point at this intermediate level. So this is Heian Godan. All right, do your best with this one. Again, if you haven't quite learned it yet or you're not as comfortable with it, comfortable performing it, hang with me here. All right, this may be something that you're learning. Potentially, I'm not sure exactly where you may be in this class series. Okay, so Heian Godan. Ready? Yoi. Subirach. Ready? Yoi. Heian Godan. Slow. Good pace. Ready? Hajime. Right. Again, you keep going. I'll give you a few more seconds to finish up that one. That was a little bit longer, so it may be a little bit more complex for you. And Yame. All right, Os. Very good. All right, so we've gone through those first 5, and we've gone through them at a slower pace. We're going to go through them all again, this time at a normal pace, at what you might see the competition pace. Okay, so be prepared. I think that I have room to do these starting on this side of the room, so that's where I'm going to start for this entire section of 5 kata. I believe so. And regardless, if I have to do some correction steps, I'll do those, and I'll even call them out if need be, just so that if you're following along, you're not making a mistake thinking that this is the step when it's really this. Okay, so that correction step will be called out just to make sure that you know I'm not doing it incorrectly, and you know that you're not doing it incorrectly when you see me do a correction. Okay? All right, so start on this side. So again, Heian Shodan through Heian Godan. All right, and this should be at what I would call a moderate pace. So this would be like a competition pace. All right, so I'm not really looking for speed. I'm not looking for power. All right, again, just looking for a good moderate pace. It's not slow. Good key-mate practice here still, and good key eye points. All right, so still remember your key eye points at all as you go through this entire routine here. All right. All right, so this is Heian Shodan, so just make sure you have enough room. Again, I'm just starting from a different perspective, just for your benefit. And just, again, make sure you have enough room to complete your kata. And if you don't, just remember those kirikiashi, those correction steps that I mentioned before, right? All right, protocol, yodachi, sudachi, right? Yoi, Heian Shodan, and hajime. Few moments for you to finish your kata. And yame. Great. All right, so that should have felt different than what we just did before. Going a little bit slower and actually thinking about each technique. Okay, at good speed and power as you move through this one should feel different. Okay, now let's go ahead and do Heian Nidan. Ready? Make sure you have your room. I know that I'm gonna have to step out. Right, because we start off with that side kick going this direction, so just make sure you have room for that whenever you start facing this direction. Right, protocol again together. Heian Nidan and hajime. And yame. All right. Again, hopefully I'm giving you enough time to get through this kata at a proper speed. Okay, you shouldn't be finishing too far behind me if you're going at the same pace. All right. Let's go ahead and move directly into the next kata. Ready? Let's go through protocol. Yodachi, sudachi, right? Yoi. Heian Sandan. And hajime. and yame, os. All right, so a couple things here. If you make mistakes, try to work through them, all right? Don't just stop your kata completely and go back to the beginning. Try to work through the mistake, all right? And if you prefer, just rewind the video a little bit and start off at the same time again, just to get through the kata properly without any mistakes, okay? All right, let's move to Heian Yondan, ready? I always have to think to make sure that I'm not doing anything going in that direction. So again, just think about your space before you start. All right, so Heian Yondan, we'll go through protocol, ready? Uedachi, Sudachi, right? Yoi. Heian Yondan. And Hajime. And yame, good. All right, so I'm trying to string these together pretty rapidly to get your heart rate up, to get you breathing heavily. Hopefully that's working. So let's go ahead and move into the last kata, Heian Godan, right? Protocol, Uedachi, Sudachi, right? Yoi. Heian Godan. Hajime. And yame. All right, hopefully you made it through that kata. Again, in good timing, ending about the same time as me, once you started at the same time as me. All right, so this last time we're gonna go through all 5 kata again. This time we're gonna go through it at, we did slow, speed and power, all right, speed and power. All right, so thinking about each technique, throwing with speed and power as you go through each kata, act as if this is a fight. Think about it in your mind, all right? Actually think about you're blocking someone's kick and you're punching them. Now what are you doing? You're turning, blocking a kick. They grab your arm, pulling away, striking down, all right? Go through this as if it's a real fight, okay? That's the best way that I can kind of put this into the right perspective as far as the speed with which I want you to complete this kata. Power, all right? So I want you to emit or emote power. So ki points, you can ignore those ki points. I still want you to have your ki points, but if you happen to make noise or ki at other opportunities, that's fine, right? It's just your emotions taking over. You're actually working through the kata as if it were a real fight. So maybe when you're here, maybe a ki there. And then you're turning and blocking. All right, so just think about each technique without thinking about each technique. Okay, so again, a little bit of that mushin. So no mind, all right? I just want you to, the only thing you're thinking about is what's happening right now. Doing this kata right now. Thinking about that speed and power as you're going through the kata against someone, you're fighting someone, you're defending yourself, and making sure that you come out of this unharmed. So speed and power, okay? And don't worry about those ki points if you happen to make noise throughout the entire kata. Maybe every move is a ki point, all right, for you in this situation. Again, it's completely up to you. But do try to remember your normal ki points and don't miss those just for normal practice, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go back to my normal starting position here. All right, let's go through protocol together again. Yoi, subrachi, right? Yoi. Heian Shodan, speed and power. Ready? Hajime. All right, Yame. Again, hopefully you felt a little better about what I was saying and putting that into practice just then. But still remember to perform your Kihon techniques properly. Don't speed through them or rush through them so that your technique is impaired by your speed, okay? So if you feel that that's happening, slow it down a little bit until your Kihon is correct and you're performing your Kihon techniques properly, then work on speed. All right, let's go ahead and work on the next kata. Let me make sure I have my distance. This is about here. All right, Heian Nidan. Prepare. Yoi. Subrachi. Right. Yoi. Heian Nidan. Speed and power. Ready? Hajime. Ai. And Yame. Oh, very good. All right. Just a couple seconds of breathing before we get right back into Heian Yondan. Okay? Sorry, Heian Sandan. All right, we're at number 3. All right. Couple of good breaths in. And again, between kata, even though I'm not standing here doing it with you, you can take a break and just breathe. Breathe in, lift your body up on your toes. Breathe out, release everything completely into your lungs. And breathe back in as you wait for me to start the next kata. All right? You ready? Yoi. Sudachi. Right? Yoi. Heian Sandan. Speed and power. Ready? Hajime. All right, and yame, good. Back to center. Breathe if you feel you need to. A couple of quick breaths in and out. Try to calm your mind and body. Back to center. And prepare for your next kata, Heian Yondan. Okay, ready? Yoi. Sudachi. Ready? Yoi. Heian Yondan. Speed and power. Good kime still. Ready? Hajime. And yame, pulse. Very good. All right, couple breaths in. Very good. All right, last kata, hand Godan with speed and power. Ready? Go on space. Yoi. Sudachi, all right? Yoi. Heian Godan. And hajime. And yame. Pulse, very good. All right, so taking you through 3 sets of kata. All right, slow, methodical. All right, regular, competition, moderate pace, and with speed and power. All right, you should be out of breath. That's good. Let's take a couple of breaths together. Ready? And out. In. Out. One more in. And out. All right, very good. All right, we have some time. So let's do all 5 kata again. This time we're going to reverse the order. So we're going to start with Heian Godan and end with Heian Shodan. We're going to start fast and get down to at Heian Sandan. We'll be at a moderate pace. By the time we get to Heian Shodan, we're going to go slow. Okay, so high tempo, high pace, slowing down until we get to Heian Shodan, which should be very slow, kind of by the numbers style of kata. All right, let's get ready, get into your position. All right, so this one's Heian Godan, speed and power. Right, we're going fast on this one. All right, and when I say going fast, again, I don't want your Kihon technique to suffer. So go as fast as you can go with proper technique, with proper Kihon. All right, and then we'll go to Heian Yondan, slowing it down a slight bit. Heian Sandan should be moderate competition pace. All right, and then slower for Nidan, and even more slow for Heian Shodan. Okay, ready? I will change places again for your benefit, just to see everything from another angle. All right, so Heian Godan, speed and power, ready? Yoi, Masubudachi, right? Yoi. Heian Godan, speed and power, ready? Hajime. Yame, yame, stop. I started off incorrectly, so I started off with Heian Nidan for some reason. So just stop for just a second, reset, Heian Godan, okay? Ready? Yoidachi, Subidachi, ready? Clear your mind. And Heian Godan. Hajime. Couple more seconds for you. All right, yame, good. All right, so let's go ahead and get into Heian Yondan, right? Counting down. All right, and I'm gonna switch it up. So I'm gonna go from here, let's go back over here for Heian Yondan. All right, so not as fast, not as much power on this one. Slow it down a little bit, okay? Just above the competition speed. Ready? Yoi. Masubudachi, ready? Yoi. Heian Yondan. Hajime. Yame, very good. Okay, Heian Sandan. This one should be your moderate pace. This should be your competition speed kata. Okay, changing my perspective for you. Rolling right into it, okay? Yoi. Subidachi. Alright? Yoi. Heian Sandan. Moderate pace. Hajime. And yame. Good. All right, come back to center. Breathe it out. Ready? In. Moichido. And yame. All right. Heian, Nidan, right? Make sure you have room behind you. Start about here. Slowing this one down a bit. Not as slow as your next kata, but somewhat slow for this one, all right? Don't speed through it, don't power through it. Just make it through the kata at a slightly lower than moderate pace, all right? Think about it in your mind, maybe count in your mind. If you're counting, then you're going a little bit slower, okay? Ready? Yoi. Subrachi, ready? Yoi. Heian Nidan. Hajime. Few seconds for you to finish. And yame. Good. All right. Last kata before we close up class. And Shodan, basically by the numbers. All right. Go slow about through this one. Think through this one. Methodical through this one kata. Okay. Ready? Yoi. Subrachi. Ready? Yoi. Heian Shodan. And Hajime. Jai. Alright, shouldn't need too much more time if you're going as slow as I was. So yame, come back to center with me here. Alright, so thank you for joining me for this class. This has been a pretty good one, right? Going through a lot of kata, getting through it several times. Great kata practice. This is a good class to come back to review kata maybe before an exam, something like that. Great kata, again, great class to kind of review everything. Do those katas several times at several different speeds, right? And good fitness. Okay, let's go back to Yoi. Subrachi, right? Yoi. Seiza. All right, today's meditation, I just want you to take any one kata maybe that you felt you needed to work on a little bit and go through that kata in your mind. Ready? Mokuso. Mokuso yame, sensen yore, tate, yoi, subrachi, right? Yoi, os. All right, thank you for joining me. My name is Sensei Justin. We'll see you in the next video.